Deborah Bachels Schmidt has self-published 5 chapbooks, with a 6th, Stumbling into Grace, published by Orchard Street Press. She's the co-author of Love's Meditation from Random Lane Press. Her poems have appeared in the journals Blue Unicorn, the California Quarterly, the Exacting Clam, and the MacGuffin, as well as in the anthologies Pandemic Puzzle Poems and the Marin Poetry Center's Conform. Deborah has earned awards from the Coolbrith Circle, the Soul-Making Keats Competition, and Orchard Street Press. In 2024, her poems Hermit Thrush and When Casals Found the Bach Suites won grand prizes in the Poets' Dinner and the Dancing Poetry Festival, respectively. Please welcome Deborah Schmidt.
Thank you so much, Sandy. Thank you, Shauna and Monica, for this opportunity to be here tonight. And Lynn, wow, I am really just in great company tonight. Beautiful reading. And thanks to all my friends who are here. It's so great to see your faces on screen. So I'm going to read grandmother poems tonight. That's really where my heart is lately. This first one is called Waiting for a Child, and the epigraph is from the Bible, the King James translation from Luke. But Mary kept all these things and pondered them in her heart. She carries her secret through the red rock country, waking in the desert dawn with this sweet knowledge. She is tied now more indivisibly than ever to fragile cycles of regeneration, swelling seeds of yucca, swifts foraging on thermals above the canyons, a mule deer fawn curled under overhanging roots at the edge of an arroyo, camouflaged on white pebbles, waiting for its mother. Now I too am charged with her secret, the possibility that our family may yet extend into another generation, daughter becoming mother, mother becoming grandmother. In the mysterious belly of the earth, where tangled roots seek and hold water, in the soft darkness of the womb, new life takes shape. This is like waiting for a poem, a quiet gestation. A French woman might say, j'attends un enfant. We wait for a child. Thank you. Flying stars. While she waits for the baby, she chooses the pattern, flying stars. She collects bright fabrics, old and new, prints large and small, hues warm and cool. This is the quilt that will wrap her child in dreams. She cuts crisp squares and triangles, stacking them in neat piles. But birth is imminent, and then motherhood becomes her entire world. While she nurses and rocks, the cut pieces send her messages from their tilting, thready towers. She dreams of red calico rabbits bounding through yellow cotton grasses. This is the quilt that will wrap her child in dreams, in all the love that grows each day in her heart. While the baby sleeps, she starts to build the blocks, pinning them to a flannel sheet on the wall, playing with juxtapositions, how the materials converse, harmonize, disagree. Dragons from a cousin's baby blanket and flowers from her grandmother's apron stir memories from long ago. This is the quilt that will wrap her child in dreams, in all the love that grows each day in her heart. A love she knew and longed for. She hauls out her mother's singer and begins to stitch and press. The bobbin thread tangles. She perseveres, and the first starry blocks emerge. This is the quilt that will wrap her child in dreams, in all the love that grows each day in her heart. A love she knew and longed for, yet never could have imagined. Thank you. I'm going to share with you a group of 4 birth poems. 1, Fear. Her time is near, so near that I find it hard to sleep. I imagine she is sleepless too. When it was my time, I was not this fearful. But for my daughter, I imagine and try not to imagine all possible threats. I think and try not to think of my grandmother, who almost died giving birth to my mother, her only child, and who never again slept with my grandfather. I think of my mother, 2 weeks overdue, running Ocean Beach from the Cliff House to the zoo and then laboring alone in an old padded cell at the Army hospital, twisting the bare mattress off its steel frame with each fierce contraction. No company but the grim matron who at interminable intervals glared through the barred window before disappearing down the hall. I think of the endless wall of pain that was my own first labor. I tell myself that childbirth is safer now that we are here as proof. This first granddaughter will make us the 3 latest in a long, unbroken strand of mothers and daughters. I invoke the power of the generations, the ancient sequence of mothers, to safeguard us through this perilous divide, this treacherous passage, this dangerous translation in which life risks even itself for its own continuance. 2, altar. I build a birth altar. A small leather-bound book of illuminated capitals from the Canterbury Psalter is turned to the letter O. O is for open, for the moon that rules our courses, for female genitalia, for the circle of life. Pottery bowls, 2 nut brown, 1 sea blue traced with waves, speak of earth and tides, their rims of clay stretching like the cervix around the descending head. My daughter threw and glazed the blue bowl, and she waxed and dyed the 3 pisanki, eggs in intricate stained glass patterns of scarlet, cobalt, emerald, black, kaleidoscopic feathers and poppies. Beads of lapis and cloisonne strung one after another on a strong silk cord honor great-grandmother, grandmother, mother, daughter, and daughter, granddaughter to be. For weightlessness, breath, and endurance, I choose a tiny enamel bird and plumes of quail, thrush, and peacock. I bring a candle made with fir needles for the light it gives and for the rooted, fragrant strength of trees. In the blue bowl, I place a stem of climbing rose, 1 bloom in bud, 1 in its prime, and 1 full blown. And last comes a little brown bronze mouse who stands next to the Celtic O with paws uplifted, sniffing the air, sharing her animal blessing, the easy parturition we bipedal creatures gave up in learning to walk upright. Thank you. 3, incantation. Bowl, bead, feather, seed. O is for open, hear my spell. Water, earth, flower, birth. May my child and her child be well. 4, amulet. There is one more thing I must prepare for the birth altar. On a miniature clay tablet, I stamp an ancient charm. Sator arepo tenet opera rotas. 5 letters across, 5 down. It is a perfect palindrome that magically reads the same in all directions. Its meaning has been obscured by the passage of millennia, but through all that time, women near childbirth have worn it as an amulet, incised in stone, inscribed on parchment, embroidered on linen, They have even eaten the letters written in butter or cheese. The Sator Square has been found in Pompeii, Corinium, Duro Europas, in a Carolingian Bible. Is it Jewish, Roman, or Christian? Stoic, Orphic, Mithraic? Scholars continue to argue, but we don't care. In our need, we reach for magic. We want to believe that in this potent rebus resides the power to make our own small world come right, that the elegance of this archaic construction touches the divine. At its very center is the letter N, perhaps for Newman, the ineffable name. Of the many translations, I choose, the sower guides the wheels with care. Sator arepo tenet opera rotas. Thank you so much. And I have not been able to write about the birth. It was very intense. I plan to write about it at some point, and everybody is doing beautifully. This is my first poem for Juniper Kestrel for Juniper. 8 weeks old and already granddaughter of mine, life can be so hard sometimes. This morning you were fed and changed, sleepy, but fighting hard not to relinquish your newfound consciousness. I lift you from your mother's arms, nestle you against my chest, and step onto the cabin porch. Your eyes, twin alpine lakes reflecting wind-tossed pines, widen as you take in trees and sky, and you are suddenly calm because you still know what we only try to remember. We walk down the cabin road, and in minutes your soft head grows heavy under my chin, your little warm body letting go into mine, your dark eyes closing. You are named for what is rooted in the earth, what sends tender exploring fronds into sun and sky, what rounds frosted blue berries and gives them up to us for the healing. May sun, sky, and your sister trees always call you home. Thank you. First Easter, 9 months old, buttoned into a white sweater with bunny ears. Just for you, your first Jell-O egg. Only gelatin and fruit juice. I scoop a black cherry one into a paper cup. It shimmies and shines as I carry it across the yard, greeting neighbors who lean back, sated and smiling in their folding chairs as Harry and Mike begin, "Here Comes the Sun." I watch as your mother offers you a taste, your expression cloud shifting from suspicion to sunshine. "Mum, mum, mum," you say, smack dab in between yum, yum, yum and more, more, more. Oh, baby bird, arms lifted like stubby wings, tiny fingers splayed like feathers, little mouth an eager O, your whole self leaning toward what is delicious. Thank you. And this one is a sonnet based on a picture book by Patricia Polacco called Rychenka's Eggs. I smooth the pages of a picture book, my daughter's favorite and my mother's gift. Entranced, my tiny grandchild looks and looks, but hearing in my voice a catch, a lift, she turns her face to mine, her bright brown eyes filled with concern I never thought to know in one so young. I use my sleeve to dry my brimming tears before they overflow and mar the painted eggs. My mother's gone, and I'm the grandma now, so conscious of the shining threads that bind us, spun and drawn through time. Delight in words, in books, our love for one another, blessings we impart, passed from hand to hand and heart to heart. At the piano. 10 months old, she sits beside me on the bench, splashing away with both hands, sending up bright sprays of notes, alternately singing along lustily and laughing for the sheer glory of it all. Rows and rows of black and white keys, the thundering vibration of unseen strings. What a gift in the 7th decade of my life to cast off the fear of mistakes, the schooled quest for precision, the veneration of the greats, to be reminded by this tiny, wise person of wondrous possibility and joy. Thanks so much. This one is Crossing the Bridge. Crossing the bridge with baby Juniper in her stroller, I happened to catch sight of the tiniest of birds balanced high on a railing, a young black-chinned hummingbird in a rare moment of quiescence, a creature that normally lives in a blur, 80 wing strokes a second, 250 breaths, and 1,200 heartbeats a minute. Now miraculously poised long enough for me to see its miniature mermaid scales, to hear its almost supersonic peeping. Juniper, nearly asleep, needs to keep moving, so I walk her back and forth, unwilling to leave while the little bird is still with us. It must look as though I'm waiting for someone, as if I've said, "Meet me under the hummingbird," as if a hummingbird could be a landmark like a fountain or a clock. But who and what I have waited for are right here. First word. How I have wondered what your first word would be. 3 languages surround you, 2 spoken and 1 signed. So in this tumble of words, how will you fasten upon just one? From the swirl of this new world, what will call out to you to be named? Not surprisingly, your first word is a sign. You wave from your mother's arms. Bye bye, choo choo, because signing somehow owns and contains the ache of goodbye. Your second word is also a sign. Your small hand twinkles open and shut like a star. Your first name for your mother is milk. But your first real word is a question, an answer, an affirmation. Yeah, 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 yeah. A song to the dappled morning from under the hood of your stroller. A song for the bright geraniums whose faces lean over the sidewalk. A song to the 3 wild turkey hens striding up the hill beneath the oaks. And I know for certain, as if I had any doubts before, that you are my kind of person, the kind of person whose first word is yes. Onomatopoeia, which from the Greek means literally word making. This tiny person with big ears has found the common ground between 2 spoken languages. All things are their sounds. A dog's a woof, and turkeys are booloo, booloo, booloo. Chickens are buck, 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 and cows and calves are moo. A vacuum or a mower or a truck is known as vroom. The great big train that rumbles over the bridge is called a whoo. A beep beep is a microwave, a key fob, or a car. All things are their voices. Their songs are what they are. When she sees a tissue or any flower that grows, she scrunches up her little face and sniff, sniff goes her nose. She loves pop and zip and blech and laughs when we say, ouch. Water is ah when it goes in and psst when it comes out. A broom is whoosh, and so is wind or ocean in a shell. All things are their music, and this she knows full well. And one last one, Alma. My little granddaughter has a name for me now. I am the last in the family to be so honored, after Mama and Papa, of course, and Nana, her other grandma, and Bapak, her grandpa, and way after Woof, the dog. Amma happened because Grandma is too hard to say. I am one M short of Mama, one L shy of Alma, Spanish for soul, spirit, or heart, and just one R less than amar, the Spanish verb for love in the infinitive. What I had not known is that across the globe and time, in Sanskrit and the Semitic tongues, in Tibetan and Mandarin, in the languages of South Asia, in Basque, Icelandic, and Old Norse, Amma is our honorific for mother, widening to embrace grandmother, matriarch, mother goddess, the divine feminine, source of life and nurturance. The word that began in the universal onomatopoeia of infancy, a baby's lips closing around the breast and opening in a cry, has become the intimate name for the maternal aspect of God.